I'm gonna go ahead and get this show started and get it cooking. We need to have this conversation because there's different conversations going on right now. There's this level of conversation which I think men should level up and become the best version of themselves. And this conversation is about optionality. But we got to understand something. What's not being really discussed is how much sexual liberation has changed the dating and relationship environment. We've had so many years of it. Sexual freedom, sexual promiscuity. I mean, it was going on back in the day, but now it's on steroids, especially with social media and the internet. But this conversation about standards and requirements in relationships, especially as it comes to women. And my conclusion based on the evidence is that these standards and requirements are only for the men that do not arouse these women. So when I hear women talking on these platforms about what men make, what salaries men make, what's required from men and whatever else, and I hear some of these other men, some of these men that are sympathizers talk about, yeah, you get the outcome because you only make this type of money and that kind of money. But the truth of the matter is access to these women's bodies has never been just a situations of status or a man's ability to earn resources, especially in a certain community. And that is evident by the number of births or babies that are being born and who are fathering these kids, especially in a certain community. And it ain't the best of us. And many times, like this T-app revealed, many women are sleeping with the same men. The T-app is like a thesaurus of debauchery. And it's just really advertisement for certain men because, like I said, they're going to keep sleeping with the same men. But what happens and what's the most offensive is they're transferring this conversation onto the decent, respectable men out here on the dating relationship or the sexual marketplace. But in reality, there really should be segregation in terms of the dating and relationship market. I mean, there is, naturally, and to a certain extent, but these conversations are kind of broad in terms of what it really encompasses. But it's an interesting conversation when women talk about standards. And let me give you an example. And again, I would say this. One of the worst things, one of the most cringeworthy things that I hear women say is the next man is going to be my husband. The next man is going to be my husband. The implication right there is just disrespectful. Because that assumes that there's been a line of men that have sampled that woman. And the man who's going to pay the most or invest the most is going to be the guy who gets the worst deal. Maybe she's older. Maybe she's experienced 20 bodies before you. And he gets the worst deal, and he has to pay the most, invest the most, and commit to the most. I know in the simp culture, guys don't care about that whole phenomena, but I can't think of anything more cringy. I know guys will hear women say that around them. They won't say nothing to the woman. It's just like when a woman talks about sex around a man or something, which gets you in trouble if you're on the job, but they talk about certain things around them, their sexual experience and whatever else. They don't know that in the minds of the men around them, or the man that they would want to be with, that it automatically drops their value. They don't see that sexual liberation. As much as men enjoy sex, it is still cringeworthy to men if they're talking about a long-term relationship. So they kind of don't understand that. You see women talk about sex so freely, their sexual past, their sexual history, because we got up in this environment of no shame, not understanding that devalues them in the eyes of men, even though men may not express these things. But getting back on topic about these requirements in life, I don't like it. It's a funny, crazy thing. You watch these panels every once in a while, you listen to these conversations, and they talk about standards. But when you pull the Carfax on their relationship history, and I know they're going to say, well, that was my youth. I was young and I was stupid and whatever else. But it doesn't matter what. You gave away your box to Mook Mook. He hit. And you saw the situation. They always try to, especially with black men, try and put us all in a category. But only a small percentage of the men are out here. And the TI proves that. Only a small percentage of the men out here are out here smashing these women and making babies. Like example, remember this gentleman, father opens up about having 7 children by 7 different women, then want me to be responsible for some children I told them I did not want. We see this phenomena that is happening all over the place. So a majority of the men, a small majority of the men, small portion of the men are really the ones that are out here recklessly running through women. Most guys are just responsible, hardworking dudes just trying to make it through life. They're not out here running through women and stuff like that. But even though, no matter how much you bring statistics to them, they keep going to the lowest common denominator. Because again, that community especially operates on the color purple narrative. The color purple narrative is the motto. Or, for instance, black men ain't ish. That is the narrative, and that is the normal thing. And you can't talk to any of them because they all talk trauma, or they always take it to the lowest common denominator. But now in this environment with the economy the way it is, we see a lot of people trying to cash in on the situation in terms of needing money, needing resources. And now they're talking about this ending this gender war. And I say there's no gender war. The gender war is over. It's just adaptation now. The gender war is over. Women lost. It's just adaptation now. And now what we see now, because of the women are scared. Government programs are going away. There's not money, free-flowing money into the economy the way it used to be. And now they're looking back and like, in a disrespectful way, they're coming to the table in a disrespectful way. They come to the table in shame and whatever else and talk about how they still have the same narrative because they really haven't felt the effects of it now. They're trying to really create a relationship dynamic where they still have power, or they think they have power. They're not coming like with a good spirit or a good attitude, a good mentality, or a good mindset. It's basically they still come to the table with a certain level of disrespect, but they're at the table. But let's get into this conversation about standards. Let me give you an example of what I'm talking about. We always got to start with our good brother out of Atlanta. We got to talk about standards and why there's only I'll give you an example. Remember this gentleman right here. Oh, let me go right here. Remember the situation out of Atlanta.
Did you hear the story about the homeless man in Atlanta who made a public plea for a place to stay and more than 1,000 women responded? This man, who goes by the name of Big Boss Escobar, posted in a Facebook group called Atlanta Rooms for Rent. He said, I recently lost my home, just need a place that is reasonable price so I can get back on my feet. I'm tired of sleeping in Atlanta shelters, very quiet person and stay to myself, work a job, and also have a clothing line. I moved to Atlanta from St. Louis, Missouri 4 years ago. If anybody have any resources you can send my way, I will accept. Thank you. I appreciate it. And of course, the women came through. You can come stay with me, boo, a woman named Britt wrote. Off bed, cold AC, plenty of food, and the Wi-Fi jumping. A woman named Tish Lee wrote, you can stay with me. A woman named Courtney said, woo, if you're in my area, you can come stay with me for free. I'll take care of you. After his post went viral and more than 1,000 women responded to his request for a place to stay, he went on Facebook Live to clarify that he's not just a pretty face. He's looking for something real.
I want it to be the woman I'm finna lock in with. So whoever it is, fuck all that I look good shit. Is you really trying to lock in so we can get shit right?
Now be for real, ladies. If he came up to you and said he needed a place to stay, how would you respond? Leave a comment to let me know. I'm Tierka with the T. Follow for more.
So we know the deal in that situation. Obviously, We know what's going to happen. You see? These are these young brother like this is what runs through the women when they're young. I mean, when they're young and in their prime, or even women when they're older, they're happily to open up their door. They're not requiring 100%, 50%, anything. They just want him in the house, you see? Because he arouses them. He's attracted. They're attracted to him. That's why when I see some of these dating and relationship coaches or some of these pickup artists or gurus or game type dudes, it baffles my mind, because most of these conversations is about the women that are not attracted to you in the first place, or the women that you wouldn't want to be attracted to you in the first place. And that's where the fundamental failure is. Why are you dealing with women who are not attracted to you? Because that's 90% of the equation. If the woman is attracted to you and you're her preference, you're her sexual select preference, why would you want to be with a woman that you have to talk into liking you? To me, that's an issue of low self-esteem. So that defeats the whole idea of game beyond knowledge in terms of understanding female nature and how women operate within relationships. Because when women really are attracted to you and they like you, they actually will help you. In fact, they will even cut you a break on some of the mistakes you're going to make. When a woman is really into you or is attracted to you, you don't need, in fact, if most of the time you try to deploy a bunch of bullshit at her, if she's really into you, she'll tell you knock it off. Because she's already sold. You don't have to sell what's already been sold. That's the fundamental flaw in all this game shit. You're trying to sell something to somebody. Why are you trying to sell something? Shouldn't you already be sold? The moves that you make as a man, doesn't that sell you already? How you carry yourself, how you operate as a man, aren't you already sold? Why do you have to game somebody up when you are the game? You are the game. How you operate as a man, you are the game. Your masculinity, your manhood, and how you move is the game. It's not mouthpiece game. It's behavioral game. And I always talk about, guys, discipline. Discipline is more important than game. Discipline is really where it's at. Because inevitably, it's your ability to say no where the power is at. And your ability to walk away from situations that don't benefit you in the long term. Anybody can teach you something to get some box. But can you really develop strong and good, hard discipline? Because discipline, the lack of discipline is what sinks us all as men. Whether it be with money, with box, with women, is the lack of discipline and your inability to say no that take your ass off the cliff and crash your whole situation. You know what I mean? It can be with everything: food, women, money, anything. You don't have no discipline, you're doomed. And I think that's what the fundamental thing is missing. And you have to go through some shit to sometimes develop that level of discipline or your ability to, withstand the bullshit out here in these streets. But this is where we're at right now in 2025. It's a lot of grifting going on, a lot of bullshit out here, a lot of selling people, a lot of garbage. We saw the situation what happened to our brother, Dr. Umar, selling people a whole bunch. That race hustling garbage don't produce any outcome. Because again, people can talk and say whatever they want, but do you live what you're talking about? Most of these dudes will not survive a background investigation because they don't live shit what they're talking about. When you get off this internet, all of a sudden they're a different person. They're not even executing or carrying out the shit that they talk about on this internet. And again, it's about keeping people stuck in a certain position or a certain mindset and not really, really, really helping them grow. The fundamental issue is that we're dealing with an environment that is extremely sexual liberated. Obviously, the women are having more sex than the men. They are. Social media changed that game. So if the women are having more sex than the men, they're not getting commitments. They're not getting marriages. Maybe some of the same men are sharing different women, but now they're turning to a certain type of man, or they're looking for the income from a different type of man after they've been ran through by the other men, which doesn't even make any sense. I'll give you an example of what I'm talking about. Hey, brother, totally awesome. Salute. Hey, how you doing? I'll give you an example of what I'm talking about right here. We get Big Boss off the screen. This is another example of what I'm talking about. 1 second. I got like a whole bunch of these. I'm going to start doing some of these streams for Gen Z too. Not this one. I'm going to start doing some of these Gen Z streams, man. Here we go. Let me cancel that out real quick. Hold on a second. I want you to check out this stream right here. My brother, take that off of there. Black Guru. Salute to him. He be really exposing a lot of this bullshittery that we be getting out here. Let me give you an example, okay? I want you to listen to this. He's talking to a woman, right? And this is an example of how they changed the game for the man that they, you know, they trying to secure the bag from.
What, you have beef with me or what?
I just don't want to talk to you. I'm not interested.
Why are you not interested in me tonight?
I ain't been interested in you any night. What do you mean tonight?
Why are you so mean to me? What did I do to you?
You not my woman.
I know I'm not your woman.
What you talking about? Why am I so
I'll never be your woman. I'll never date Black American men.
Who do you date?
I date African men. I date white men. I date doctors, lawyers, investors. You know, those type.
One that was the prisoner. What race was he?
The one who was real good to me in the bedroom.
Yeah, that we've talked about multiple times. What
The
race?
street dude. The street dude.
Yeah, the street dude. What race
Yeah,
was
but
he?
I don't want to be with him no more.
What race was he?
He was Black American, but I don't want to be with him no more. I need a man to penetrate my mind. I don't need to get spicy time every time, or down, dick, what is called D down every time. I need to date and be more advanced. I need to go after men who are attracted to me, spiritually, mentally, emotionally, financially.
Why is it that y'all always get on this higher level after you didn't been tore up by the street dude? After he didn't tore up your cootie cat, then y'all want to get on the higher level. Why is it always the case? Why don't y'all think higher?
It was always
Hold on, I'm asking a question. Why don't y'all think higher before the street dude than more?
What's the beef? What you have beef with me or what?
I just don't want to talk to you. I'm not interested.
Why are you not interested in me tonight?
I ain't been interested in you any night. What do you mean tonight?
Why are you so mean to me? What did I do to you?
You not my woman.
I know I'm not your woman.
What you talking about? Why am I so
I'll never be your woman. I'll never date Black American men.
Who do you date?
I date African men. I date white men. I date doctors, lawyers, investors. You know, those type.
One that was the prisoner. What race was he?
The one who was real good to me in the bedroom.
Yeah, that we've talked about multiple times. What
The
race?
street dude. The street dude.
Yeah, the street dude. What race
Yeah,
was
but I don't want to be with him no more.
What race was he?
He was Black American, but I don't want to be with him no more. I need a man to penetrate my mind. I don't need to get spicy time every time, or down, dick, what is called D down every time. I need to date and be more advanced. I need to go after men who are attracted to me, spiritually, mentally, emotionally, financially.
Why is it?
So really, she wants this guy. This is the guy she's looking for now, right? All right. So again, the street dude still smashed. So whoever comes after that is getting the leftovers from the street dude. She still gave him access to her body. But these are the women that are having conversations with men nowadays, trying to secure that bag. But that's who she's really attracted to. You see how subjective her standards are. And I understand women are all like that. You say, let these wild horses run free. That's what you got to do. But for entertainment purposes, man, he said, bottom shelf of Keisha lying about dating doctors. So yeah, she don't date no damn doctors. If she is what she is, Hey, salute to you, my brother, man. And this is the problem we have right now, and why I can't take these people serious when they have these conversations, man. It's disrespectful to believe like the mindsets and the mentalities is crazy out here. I mean, you listen to her. I mean, it's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous, man. I mean, this woman herself, like, they only have selective standards,
Why is it that y'all always get on this higher level after you didn't been tore up by the street dude, after he didn't tore up your cootie cat, then y'all want to get on the higher level? Why is it always the case? Why don't y'all think higher?
It was always
hold on, I'm asking a question. Why don't y'all think higher before the street dude than more?
What's the beef? What you have beef with me or what?
I just don't want to talk to you. I'm not interested.
Yeah, like that's ultimately, just ridiculous. It's ridiculous to think about it like that. I mean, like the street dude himself. Standards. What are these standards? Where do they come from? And I think what happens is the conversation has to change. Like Andrew, my brother, Red Falls, like we're having these conversations about standards in a ran-through market. A ran-through market. Maybe you're dealing with the 5% women. Let's take a guess. What percentage of women in the current dating and relationship market would you say right now, of all races, if you look at the West, let's say America, what percentage of women do you think qualify for a long-term relationship with a respectable, squared away brother or man of any race in 2025? I'm at 5%. Give me a number that are worth keeping long term. I'm 5%. What percentage you guys are at? I'm at 5%. I say 5% qualify for a long-term relationship. I mean, I don't know what you guys in the West, in America. I'm at 5%. That's my number. 5%. In terms of qualified for a serious long-term relationship, based upon what I'm seeing now in the market, I'm at 5%. What do you, Andrew? 4 to 5%? Yeah. It's getting slim out here. It's really getting slim out here. It's really bad. 4 to 5% qualified. Yeah, it's low. It's low, man. It's low. It's really bad. I mean, it's low out here. It doesn't matter which circle you in. It doesn't matter which circle you in. It doesn't matter. And this really, it gets me to the point where you got to understand something. You can't, it's not like the most disturbing conversation for me is when men are talking about in the West leveling up in the West, and the reward at the end of that rainbow is better quality women in an environment where women are highly sexually liberated. Just because she has an education, a degree, and a good job, how does that make her a better quality woman? Maybe a higher status woman, a professionally successful woman, But what if she has 50 bodies on her? What if the football team ran through her? What if she's a lawyer like an Ebony K. Williams? And how many dudes have sampled her? What if she's just a disagreeable, rootless bitch? How does she become a better quality? What is quality to the dudes? What is quality out here is the question. What is quality to you? And I sometimes I see a panel and a guy is sitting there talking to a whole bunch of 304s. And the 304s are putting out onto the stage their standards and what they want or desire in a man. After these women are engaging right there in prostitution and other behaviors, like how is the standards that are going to who's going to take these standards from women that on the sexual marketplace today? And that's where we're at. So they might talk about the gender warfare or how we're going to fix things or how we're going to change the dating and relationship market. I think this can only be changed fundamentally by the women, because the men mostly have adapted to the environment and checked out. And what I don't like is this idea of trying to frame it like the men are somehow unqualified as to why they're not getting the women, as opposed for the men being like, yo, the juice ain't worth the squeeze. I think it's more of a juice ain't worth the squeeze than a men being unqualified for the women in the dating and relationship market. Because what exactly are you getting is the fundamental question. And what is the damage that has been done to this woman through sexual liberation that makes her absolutely unfit for a long-term relationship? That's the fundamental question that's not being asked. What damage has occurred that makes her unfit for a long-term relationship? Because that's the side effects of sexual liberation. I don't touch him, man. Again, I know my, like Andrew, like we're both educated and articulate brothers. That's not my dating and relationship DNA. Like we know what our dating and relationship DNA is. I always tell dudes, like, you got to date or have relationships in an environment that meets your how would I say, your culturally accepted standards. Like if you're an educated, intelligent, or honorable brother, hardworking, respectable brother, I don't care where you work, the post office or anything, or a higher corporate job or whatever, you ain't got no business dating Keisha. You're dating it. You're not her dating and relationship DNA. You're not. Like I don't know what lawyer, right? Well, this one is just lying. The one that, like, this chick right here. She says she dates lawyers and doctors. Maybe some lawyer and doctor put some sausage in her. Maybe. I can't think of any successful lawyer or doctor. Maybe Dr. Umar. Dr. Umar will smash it. But this is not, if you're a squared away brother, like you see a black guru is treating her, she's not in his dating and relationship. Like this is Mook Mook's girl. You know, this is Quitavia's girl. This is a street dude's girl. A dude like me is not a street dude. You know, Andrew, educated dude, got a good career, good job. You know, and the brothers in here, like this is the type of women. Like when we see the young brothers, and this is why they have to really separate themselves from the culture, because the reason why those women are not interested in you, because you don't have that you know, that DNA, that you're for her to be attracted to you, you have to go to jail and come back out. You have to go crash out, or you have to be shot 9 times like 50 cents. You don't want leave that neighborhood alone, man. Get the hell up out of there. You got to focus on the women that see you as their dating and relationship. I use the word DNA because you're not their DNA. Certain types of dudes can't date in certain dating and relationship environments. They can't. They just can't. You said, yeah, a pro-black brother would hit it. I said, yeah, she'll go with Dr. Umar, but she's already had sex with a dude that just got out of jail. I mean, and she's proud about it. Now, what she's doing really is trying to get her hands on one of these dudes. She's trying to get her hands on one of these dudes, but it's only for economic reasons. The dude with the purple shirt underneath. She's trying to get her hand on this dude for economic reasons. When they start looking for dudes that are squares, like this, he looks like a squared away brother. When they start looking for dudes like this, it's because the toxicity has ran this course and it hasn't yielded them any financial, economic, or status benefits. They're smart enough to realize, hey, look, this ain't going nowhere. I'm getting ramrodded on the sexual liberation kick. And at the end of the day, these dudes ain't taking me serious. They just curbing me. But we cannot, I see these discussions that people be having. The way to solve this problem is to reward the best men, the best qualified men with access, first choice, first pickings. Why should a brother that went to college and he's got an engineering degree or a financing degree, why should he be hitting the same box that Day Day and Mook Mook hit? Why should he be eating after Day Day and Mook Mook, who's been in and out of jail their whole life? If the brother has been squared away, went to college, did his thing, or has got a trade or a skill or a good job or whatever else he's got, why is he getting second, third, or fourth bets? Remember, even Brother Kevin Samuels said, the community or man will, the community itself will never rise above the level that women allow for access to their body. So women allow any type of man to get access to their body. That's the level set for the level that community is going to rise. If the community is not going to rise anything, because the women have set the level for access to their bodies, because it's not a patriarchal environment. If it was a patriarchal environment, then we can blame the men. But they took care of the patriarchy in the 60s, 65, they took care of the patriarchy. They used the government and they made sure they got rid of the patriarchy. He said, with Keisha, right? Exactly. Yeah, it's crazy. Did the brother get his degree in jail as a free man? Yeah, it's like crazy, right? But there's certain, but one of the things I also didn't like about it, like a brother like Dr. Umar, he tried to treat us like we're some type of monolith and we're all the same. There's separation, baby. There's class, there's education, there's intelligence, there's social status. We're not all the same. We don't think the same. And we certainly don't eat from the same dating and relationship plate or be at the same dating and relationship table. So the conversations there's got to be a level set to conversations and the type of women that we even be around itself, because I just don't see any benefit in any man with decency and common sense to be in any type of relationship with community-minded women on any level. It's just once they talk and they open their mouth and they think and they operate the same way, dudes should be moving across town. Like, yo, I ain't down with that. Let me get that off the stream. You know, it just because that's where we at. You can't. It's like they're trying to come back after they've given away their bodies for so many years, trying to demand more in the dating and relationship market. And I see it everywhere. But everybody wants to focus on men being better for, and women as a reward for being better. How are they a reward if they've allowed everybody access to their body? If it's valuable and special, that means that very few people have access to them. But if they've given away themselves to everybody else, what is so special about that? And what makes them valuable if they're out here enjoying their freedoms? And that's the fundamental question that nobody's asking. But there's so much content out here. And right now, we see now there's a whole bunch of money begging on the internet. I mean, it's crazy, man. It's crazy. And this idea of fixing the dating and relationship market, how do you fix this situation? What's that? Yeah, so I mean, that's the fundamental problem. There has to be some. I know Paul Pierce has been going at it, man. So if you got an educated brother, an intelligent brother, yeah, I like this. I totally agree. He said once the glass is dirty, she offers it to a fool, pretty much. And that's pretty much is where we at now. We don't have this conversation, and that's the fundamental flaw with this whole idea of the sexual revolution and sexual liberation, is that when people strayed away from the moral constraints of sex within committed relationships to just randomly hooking up, and that's the problem with hookup culture, is that people are going to have experiences, and when they come to relationships, the trauma from that experience is going to be passed on to whoever they get in a relationship with. All of the past experiences, comes with them into that relationship. And that's the fundamental flaw of the problem right there, And again, there's got to be a separation or segregation from that situation, because like I said, it's crazy, man. I think like Paul Pierce. Let's listen to Paul Pierce get into these debates with these women. Paul gets into some very strange debate. Like I say, I think in the West, you're dealing with a 5%. If you're lucky to get your hands on a 5% woman, you're good. A woman that is more conservative, that hasn't really been out here indulging in this sexual liberation. She respects her body. She doesn't allow just anybody to have access to her body. I mean, she has the right mindset, mentality. Maybe she had the influence of good father, good uncles, good whatever, traditional mom or something that gotten into her head that has encouraged her not to be out here getting tossed around like some Skittles, and ran through. I mean, Paul Pierce is an interesting argument. Salute to Night Talk. Paul gets into this with this woman all the time. Paul, he exposed the therapist the other day. Let's see what he has to say.
in the
I'm
states
good.
that are cool and a vibe.
Nah, it ain't. The
So
States
there's-
women, they don't have the same values as these women overseas. They value they men. They priorities they men first. They not shaking ass on Instagram every
Not
day.
every woman is doing that, Paul.
That's American women. That's the majority.
No, not every woman is doing that though. I'm not doing that.
There's
So
more women in America doing that than out the country.
I can agree, but they're out the country. Women are getting paid $25 to have sex with anybody. Colombia, go there, Brazil. So please kill it.
How do you
Because because I know.
How you
And
know
y'all want to
these
glorify these out the country women. These out the country women, you give them $30 and they're sucking you and all your homeboys in one night. So stop trying to glorify that. Lies put out a PSA public
Based on what I said?
that says 40 and up with a good job. Where y'all at? He's on the hunt. And he said, if you 40 and up, that's what he's looking for. He wants that woman because he feels like she got her shit together. She ain't about the bullshit. She knows what she wants. She knows what she's on. He was like, I'm ready to take care of a woman 40 and up. What it do? So
all your
any
qualifications
woman
has got to be just 40 years old. That's
With-
his only qualifications. He didn't say nothing, did he?
I mean, he
Flies,
just
come on, bro. What's the qualification? It can't just be 40. Hey, you ain't slick. You ain't slick. You know them 40 and ups, they a little insecure. They desperate. You think you slick, Flies.
just
If
because
they,
they're 40 and up, they're insecure and
if
desperate.
they single, yeah.
That's not true. Don't say that.
Then what is it?
I don't think if they're 40 and up, they're insecure and
If
desperate.
you 40 and up,
What if you were married and you got a
you
divorce?
ain't got no kids.
No, what if they have kids or they got a divorce? Just because you're 40 and up don't mean you have no kids.
If you 40 and up and Plies is looking for you, he know the situation.
Which is what?
Easy push.
That you a little more thirstier than normal. You, yo, standards almost is out the window. And you got like you ain't got no room to be choosing. You gotta choose who chose you.
That's not true. Have you seen Bernice Burgos? The bitch looks good.
I don't know who that is.
She's fine. And she was just in Turks and Caicos living her best life. She looks the fuck good. She's a grandmother and she's fine as hell. And I'm telling you right now, Bernice don't have no problems.
Bruh,
with
no-
they're gonna pick the ultimate exception to the rule, dog. That's a spade. Bernice, whatever her name is bad, bro. But you poll the majority of men that will be able to pull her as a wifey once they realize how old she is and the fact that she is a grandmother. The majority of men still gonna turn it down, bro. But you gotta do all that. You gotta do all that. You gotta pull like the one. You know what I mean? But Paul ain't telling no lies. It's just that, you know, women hate the fucking truth. But just it is what it is. Everything he said was facts. Plies put out that statement because that is easy pickings. No work involved, bro. It's hard to say that, you know, you had to lesson. It's hard for anybody to say, man or women, bro. But, you know, women the ones have to deal with this shit because y'all get blessed before. But them
Exactly.
blessings fade away as you become older. Just it is what it is, and it's hard for an individual to come up here and say, swallow their pride and say, "Yeah, I have to lessen my standards if I truly want to be happy with somebody." You know what I mean? But, you know, otherwise you can keep that pride all motherfucking day and ride off into the sunset, solo dolo, you know, or with whatever babies you let somebody put in you. It is what it is.
She got
This
a
is
man?
her right here.
She got a man?
Do you see this lady?
Okay, she got a man.
And she still got to
I
compete.
don't think she has a man, but do you see
She
her?
still got to compete with the fucking 22, 23, 25-year-olds. That shit don't matter, dog. You know what I mean? That is aged puss. You feel me? And she look like that, and she out here still looking for attention. That's mold this girl. It's grown grandma woman is taking. The older she get, bro, that's a headache and a half to volunteer for, and you can't teach an old dog new trick.
Do you see this lady?
Okay, she got a man.
I don't think she has a man, but do you see her? Paul,
she
look
ain't
at this
got I
lady.
see her. Okay, where's her man at? I don't see
She's
no other
bomb.
dude.
She's
Okay,
gorgeous.
she's a-
but where's the receipt? Where's her husband? That's the receipt. Where's her husband? She's so bad, but she don't have no receipts. Hey guys, please hit the like button, man. Let's move the content. If you guys want to support the channel, please do. We want to keep this type of content going. I'm glad Paul Pierce asked these questions. You so bad, but where's your husband? You're out here getting ran through like everybody else. How is being ran through constantly adding any value to your life? So she can't even rep upon no man, because women have a biological advantage over us. I mean, from the time they're young, they have a whole bunch of, they're born with their value. So you tell me she's over 40 and she hasn't secured a man in a long-term relationship as a husband or even as a long-term relationship partner or whatever the hell, or leader or whatever. She hasn't secured this man. So what is the benefit of her being bad and out here single, getting plowed? Salute to you, Andrew, man. Appreciate your support, man. The super sticker. I also gotta like look at that appreciate, man. Thank you very much for your support the channel. If you guys want to support the channel, please do. But how, like, where's the receipt? That's why, like, even when I ask these game dudes, some dude has been married for the last 25 years and he's hustling dudes with game on Patreon. You can't talk about, you pick up women and go talk to these women and whatever else. Let's see you do it. Show us what you do. No, don't tell us what this theory and see, after these guys get off this internet, they go take their bitch ass back to the house and they know it's like crazy, man. Hey, salute to you, Dr. L. Peace and blessings to you, man. That's my bro. Hey, guys, make sure you support Dr. L over there at the channel, man. Good brother, man. One of my fellow retired brothers. But we got to have this conversation, man. Because they have a biological advantage on us and the ability to secure a man for the long-term relationship. Why are these women 40 plus single? I understand why the men are single. Many of these women sometimes these guys are getting divorced. Women get bored in relationships, social media, all kinds of dysfunction. There's a lot of distractions for the modern relationship. And women are 80% of the time filing for divorce. Obviously, we have laws in terms of irreconcilable. I mean, just no fault divorce laws and all kinds of things happen in relationship and marriages that women are checking out of or divorcing people prematurely and getting back out here in the sexual marketplace. That's when you look at these dating apps. These dating apps is almost like looking at the trash can. This is the recycle bin. If you see, like, there's somewhere along the line that the majority, not all, there are exceptions to women that have been in bad situations, but the majority of women that you see on these dating apps have disrespected their way out of a relationship. They've literally disrespected their way out of a relationship. So let's continue on. But Paul Pierce asked the hard questions, Exactly, right? All right, salute to you, man. Thanks for passing through, man. You guys, make sure you hit the like button. You guys, make sure to support Dr. L. Go over to his channel. Good brother, fair and balanced content as always. He talks to the ladies. He tries to communicate, and he tries to bridge the gap. So I appreciate his channel. I go over there all the time and leave my commentary. So salute, man. So we're dealing with trash can dating, recycle bin. Yes. We're dating out of the recycling bin of sexual liberation. Just put a big ass green trash can and put the sign sexual liberation on the side of it. And that's what men are forced to date out of. That guys are literally dating out of the trash can. Men didn't ask for sexual liberation. Men didn't ask for the sexual revolution. This was women what women wanted. because they had penis envy and they wanted to be like men. Because fathers and traditional men talked about protecting their daughters. Men didn't ask for this. Men did not ask for this. This is a product of feminism. So these women that are in their 40s, imagine how many men, exactly. If a woman is halfway decent looking, all they have to do is take care of themselves and be pleasant, and they can bag a successful man. But they can't even, exactly. They were born. They're like born with a lottery, and they wasted it away. So when I see women, the majority of them have these older women, you talk about hard-headed, man, shit. The older they get, the more bullshit you have to deal with. I deal with them, and their standards are high, their value is low, they're disagreeable. Remember when what's his name? Trick Daddy himself. He said the older women, man, you just listen to them. Yeah, okay, yeah. Man, if you talk about arrested development, you're talking about arrested development. All you can do is listen to them, hear them out, be nice to them, and say, look, well, I wish you the best of luck and good luck to you, and I'll be talking to you soon. Maybe, what's wrong? They're just too much trauma. The older ones got too much trauma, and not even the young ones got trauma. The old ones got there's no growth in their brain. They haven't grown, because you see even the older women trying to lead with their sexy. Like women over 40, and she's talking about how sexy she is over 40. An older woman trying to lead with her sexy would be like me at 50 driving around in a Hellcat. Trying to, what would I be leading with my Hellcat energy and shit? It's crazy, right? You got old women out here leading with their sexy. It's disturbing, man. And one of the biggest flex that they have, I can have sex with younger men. Really? Well, they don't understand the male nature. Our testosterone is how many times? 20 times more than theirs. So a young buck, I call them roadkill. I mean, sometimes you can't hunt down that wild, fresh, whatever. But there's some roadkill on the side of the road. You're still twitching a little bit. That's what them cougars are. They're roadkill. So a dude that's 25 years old and it's 11 o'clock on a Friday night, and dude want to release himself, and there's an older woman at the bar with a nice body. Let's say she's 45, 50, and a dude is 28 years old, or 25 years old, he's trying to let one off. I mean, it's low-hanging fruit. I mean, sometimes that roadkill is fresh. Like I always tell, sometimes you got to get at what you can get at, man. Sometimes you got to get at what you get at. So they'll go after, and they'll, he said, Rebecca Chen. Let's just continue on, man. We'll talk about that some more, man.
Yeah, she look good. Okay, where's her man?
And she's like 45, and she has a grandchild.
That's a red flag.
Facts.
She's a red flag.
Facts.
Everybody think looks ain't everything.
No, looks are not everything.
Just because you look cool, let me tell you something. Just because you look good and everything, just get you in the door. Like if you ain't got no other qualities than looking good, then what value you bringing to me? Like, it's a gang of good looking girls. Come on now. Oh, she look good. You just told me, oh, she's 40, look good. What else?
Well, a
You
lot.
can't even tell me
but
nothing
let me
else
say
about
this
her.
though. I
You couldn't
can't.
even tell me
But
nothing else about
Paul, let me tell you this: of a lot of men, looks is all that it takes, baby.
her. Yeah, to get in the door.
No,
What you mean? To get in the door.
to have sex with you, unprotected, have your baby on the way, and now you paying $30,000 in child support every month. That's all it takes. And these bitches are getting y'all so quickly because y'all are so loose and y'all decide to have unprotected sex with anybody moving. You don't need to know the qualifications. You're not asking them what you bring to the table. You're just doing this shit. You're getting bitches pregnant, and now these women are getting child support. She has this nigga with this baby and this baby. This is what women are doing. They're using these men, and y'all are not asking. All of these men, Drea has a baby by a 21-year-old that's the same age damn near as her son, and that's crazy to me. And guess what? It took nothing but for her to be looking good. She has another baby daddy who's another NFL player or whatever else. She getting checks. The other girl who asked Bow Wow, this future Bow Wow, the other nigga, like all these women have all these men's babies, and they're getting child support off of these men and living a lavish life. So don't tell me about qualifications because it's not taking a lot of qualifications for men to do this with these women.
Shawty sound real jealous, bro. She mad that she get the opportunity to get one of these ball players to shoot that club up, bro, because she hot. And all these older women out here getting paid 30, 40 bands a month because they found a dumbass to shoot the club up. Everything she said is true as hell, bro.
Yeah, I mean, that part of the conversation is absolutely true. Because what happens is, what people don't tell you is these older women, they old 304s, so they have access to these athletes. Like they've sexed their way into an environment where these athletes are, right? It's difficult. I mean, like people don't understand. Like wherever you tie the horse is where the horse is going to eat. Salute to you, Top Gun, man. I see you coming in the chat. Salute to you as always, man. There's a saying, wherever you tie the horse is where the horse is going to eat. So if you in that circle, in that environment, and like I said, men have 20 times more testosterone than women, right? So as a young buck who's 21, 22 years old, if he sees someone like a Drea, who's a low-hanging fruit, she's still got a tight body. She's out here on some predator shit in terms of, whatever. He's going to take a swipe at her and try and pound her out. Because one, she's just, I would say, young men will eat roadkill. Let me get this right, women to understand. Let me break it down like this to you. Let me break it down. Women don't understand. Okay? In the current dating and relationship environment, not for the superstars or the men with money, because they got options of all kinds of women. It's just that these women have slutted their way to the front of the line, and they happen to luck out and get knocked up. Because that's what they do. If you get a woman like a Tracy Ellis Ross for a young buck, let's say a buck, she's 51 now. How old is Tracy? She's in her 50s, 51, 52, 50, whatever. Tracy Ellis Ross has a nice body. So, and for her getting smashed or crushed by a man that she wants, an older guy she wants, or a younger guy, to her, it's like a trophy, like an achievement. So a guy that's 28 at the bar, and you see Tracy, maybe your body is tight, you're young, you're whatever, you still got the testosterone running. For many guys, young guys, sometimes they're just trying to get a nut. And if you can raise up an older woman, it's like this, okay? If you were to go out right now and we were to go hunting, we'd have to get our guns together. We'd have to go out there in the forest and chase. Where were we hunting? Bear? Or we shooting deer? Whatever else. It takes effort. It takes energy to get the elusive deer. We got to get out there. We got to sit in our tree stands and all that shit. It takes effort. But sometimes Let's say we're driving to go hunting, and as we're driving to go hunting, we see a truck in front of us strike a deer. Boom! You hit the deer. That deer is now roadkill, fresh roadkill. And that's what these cougars are to a young buck. It's roadkill. Why? You don't have to go hunting in the forest to get the young fresh deer when you got roadkill right there. Maybe it just died that day. And that's what Tracy Ellis Ross and the rest of them are. And like this other thing that is roadkill. And young men, my young lions, will, grab a hold of some roadkill. You just got to be careful though, young lions, because some of these roadkill is fertile, like a Drea Michelle. What's his name? Green was smashing that roadkill, and he busted some nuts in it. Like a woman like Tracy Ellis Ross, who's 50 years old, she can still get pregnant. So young bucks, you got to be careful with these older cougars. Make sure you wear your condom, because some of these old women are still fertile. That's a public service announcement for the day. Andrews, Top Gun, Andrew Flo, all you brothers are here. Rebecca, we're giving a public service announcement to the young guys. When you're dealing in cougar land, just remember that some of these older cougars can still get pregnant. And you don't want to get a woman like Tracy Ellis Ross pregnant, because she's keeping that baby. And sooner or later, that baby's going to be marching in the pride parade. You'll see your baby marching in the pride parade with rainbow stripes on them and shit. Like, yo, Tracy, what are you doing, man? He said the problem is these young lions grew up watching Bambi try to save mommy. It's true, man. But they don't understand, like, it's a challenge. Some of these guys will get like, some of these dudes will get this low-hanging fruit. It's a challenge out here, man. And like I said, look at that. I don't know about Scotty's wife. I mean, there's nothing left. I don't know why. And my Michael Jordan's son, there's nothing left with Scotty's wife. Tracy can get a spin. Like Tracy still got, she can be stretched out. But, I don't think like women understand the nature of men. Low-hanging fruit on the ground. Eat on up, young bucks. Just wear a condom, because these old broads be fertile. Don't think because she's 50 she can't get pregnant. And that's what happened to Jalen Green and the rest of them. He started enjoying that roadkill too much. Let's move on. Let's move along. Let's continue on. But some of these guys are stupid. I do agree with that.
Oh, but that has nothing to do with what the hell Paul Pierce was talking about. For these dumb motherfuckers, all it takes is a pretty face to shoot the club up. They shoot the club up, put some babies in you, and get the fuck on. So now, guess what? You a single mother getting the bag. That's what you aspire to be. Age and beauty, none of that shit don't matter when it comes to having a partner, having a companion. All these women out here with these babies, all these single mothers would love nothing more than to have a man with them, a man that claims them. Right, a pretty face is good enough for these dumb motherfuckers with money to nut up in. Yeah, that's right, because majority of dudes out here get controlled by their dick, and they can't.
That's true.
See logically at
Absolutely.
all. But once that nut is busting, them babies out here crying, they cut the check and get the fuck on and do it to somebody else. So now all y'all women, older women now, is just statistics with babies getting the bag.
Because it's not taking a lot of qualifications for men to do this with these women.
It's not taking a lot of qualifications to shoot the club up with. Yeah, bros are retarded, dog. Bros are retarded, bro. Especially bros with money. They're fucking idiots. But it does take a lot of qualifications to tie these motherfuckers down.
Exactly.
To have these men at the crib. To have these men being with y'all asses. No, because once they get that nut off and get that post-nut clarity, they realize the dumbass decision they just made by busting down slores.
Because it's not taking a lot of qualifications for men to do this with these women.
I get it.
Okay.
That's okay.
Okay.
So what you telling me about her now?
I'm saying it's the same thing.
Did she miss the boat?
What you mean to have the baby by the
Did she miss the boat?
I don't think she did because
Well,
Drea's
she's-
damn near 40 and she just had a baby by the 21-year-old.
How old is this one you talking about?
She's probably around the same age as Drea.
So she missed the boat. She don't got a 21-year-old getting checks. She ain't got a 20, like who she got right now getting checks
we
from?
don't know. She probably, I
I
guarantee.
don't know.
Do you think she works a job? She getting checks from somebody. She don't work no regular job. She don't have nothing. She lives in a house. She's going to Turks and Caicos.
Let's see, bro. Let's see. She was dating Jaylen Brown at one point. 5-year-old Jaylen Brown. She almost got her one, but you know, it didn't happen. Hold on. Does she have kids first? Does she have any kids? Yeah, she got 2 girls. So let's see. So if she got kids, then she definitely getting the checks. I would imagine her kid's father is rich. Baby daddy. Bernice Burgos has 2 daughters, Ashley and Saray. The father of Ashley.
What I'm trying to understand is like her ability to get sausage is not an achievement. A woman being able to get dick down, it's not a success. A woman being able to secure a man for marriage is success. But the ability to get sausage, especially from NBA, imagine an athlete and how his height, his testosterone is maxed out, probably at 1,000. And Bernice Berger or the other one walk around because they've hoarded their way to the front of the line. So that dude's gonna, if she's there, he's just counting that as another body. That's what she doesn't realize. This dude is just savaging the environment. He's probably having sex with 10, 15 women in that environment. It's not that she just happened to be there. Well, I'll try some old box tonight. And that's what she doesn't realize. But the real victory is her ability to secure a situation that's long-term. Exactly. He said getting a bag equal getting paid to get laid. Yeah. So they're just getting sausage. That's all they're getting is sausage.
Burgo's name is Bubba. Bubba is reportedly a friend of a person named Artist. Bernice is young. I don't know. Let me show y'all who the fuck Bernice Burgos is so y'all can
Yeah, my brother.
So y'all can see who I'm talking about. Then she cool.
We know, but she's been doing it. That's all I'm saying. Listen, I get what you're saying because you're a different type of man. And what you want and what you look for, despite what anyone wants to say on the internet, I know you actually care about connection and quality, and you care about that with a woman. And it's not just about looks. And I know that about you, and I love that about you. But I'm telling you that a lot of these men are just falling for the okie doke.
Yeah.
Period, point blank. And all it takes is for a bitch to look good. Period. And all it takes is for a bitch and one loose night. And now I'm connected to you for 18 plus years and you're paying me every month. And these bitches are 40 plus.
Unless you Jay-Z.
You're trifling.
No, but I'm saying he avoided that. If it's true. And
I'm going to keep it real though.
If it's true though.
I'm going to keep it real though. A lot of these women that are getting knocked up now by these retired and these current are 40 plus. They're not young. They're 40 plus. The young ones is not even trying to do that with these niggas. It's the older ones. That's because they're washed up. They came here to get a career. They couldn't make it. They're fried. So the next best thing I can do is I'm going to find one of these loose men who I'm cute enough to get into the bedroom with. And now they're going to pay me every motherfucking month. Tell me I'm wrong because that's exactly what's happening. A baby daddy situation is gold for these.
That's not what's happening. What's happening is that these old 304s around these NBA dudes have screwed their way to the front of the line. They can call a play. Okay, let's say there's 13, 15 dudes on the team, and she's had sex with 3 of them, and they're having an after party. And she says, "Can you get me in?" So she can outflank a younger chick and put herself in the environment with these guys. And if she still has a nice body, she's getting smashed. That's how the Dreyer and the Denise get to the front. They have screwed their way to the front of the line, boxing out some of the younger women because of connections they have made in that circle that allows them to put their bodies in front of these guys. They literally have boxed out the younger chicks. The older 304s that around these NBA dudes have boxed out some of the younger girls, literally boxed them out. So now, it's a difficult environment sometimes to get access sometimes. But the younger women do get access to. That's why you see some of these dudes be in these women's DM on Instagram and all these other stuff. Because a lot of times it's the same 304s being recycled in this environment because they have developed, they box some of the other women out. So they're good at blocking out. Really should put them in the game.
These women, especially women who are hit their 40s and now they don't got shit cracking. Like, I'm plus 40.
She just proves his whole point. They don't have shit cracking. They fried. She literally just proved Paul's point.
The only last thing that I was going to talk about is French Montana. He's dating the princess of Dubai. She's cracking. He's publicly out with her. They're like official couple online, everything. So he said, yeah, I'm out of here. I'm out the country with it. The princess of Dubai. She's gorgeous. She looks like.
How does she become the princess?
I have no idea. She obviously is the
daughter of a queen.
Yeah, or a king.
Jeez, that's major.
So he's out and about with her, living their best life. She's like this blonde situation. She's like white. She's appreciation night. Some out.
Man, I'm telling you,
out the country.
Us black men, I'm telling y'all, we need to follow in French Montana steps. You see, he cracking.
He's cracking.
He's like, man, I'm out here with these. No, I'm good.
Don't listen to Paul. There's women in the States that are cool and a vibe.
Nah, it ain't. The States women, they don't have the same values as these women overseas. They value they men. They priorities they men first. They not shaking ass on Instagram every
Not
day.
every woman is doing that, Paul.
That's American women. That's the majority.
No, not every woman is doing that though. I'm not doing that. So
there's more women in America doing that than out the country.
I can agree, but they're out the country. Women are getting paid $25 to have sex with anybody. Colombia, go there, Brazil. So please kill it. Because I know. And y'all want to glorify these out the country women. These out the country women, you give them $30 and they're sucking you and all your homeboys' dicks in one night. So stop trying to glorify that. I'm sick of it.
Ooh, she hurt. She hurt, bro. First she jealous, now she projected like a motherfucker. The disrespect of this girl that generalized all the international women as slurs. You know what I mean? Yet again, we're in the same situation, bro. Two things can be true at the same time. What Paul Pierce is saying is entirely accurate. You're gonna find a woman with much better values, standards, right, more conservative and traditional outside of the Western culture, right? But you're going to have the slurs, the cheap slurs on top of that, man. But it's incumbent upon that man to be able to decipher between the good and the bad, bro. You're going to be much better off finding wifey material outside of the Western elements as opposed to inside, bro. But she just pissed yet again, dog, because the passport bros are choosing wifey over her. You know what I mean? Ain't no shade.
But it's not. It's not just the. It's also. It's not just that, there's 304s globally. It's the laws. The laws are what matters. Because here in the West, the legal system itself, it's just destructive towards men. Marriage laws, child support laws, and whatever else. In many countries outside of the West, it ain't bankrupting the shit out of a dude if he gets divorced, cleaning him out. I'm talking about this is a legal matter. It's not just about better or worse or whatever else. You got to look at the system itself. So you have bad women all over the place. Okay, you saw what China just did with its divorce laws. China basically crushed the gold diggers' dreams with their divorce laws. So it's marriage divorce laws. The laws itself creates an environment that's beneficial to men and women. You know what I mean? Like it's just like it's crazy. You got to look at the legal system. You don't see nobody in America right now pushing to change marriage and divorce laws or child support or child custody laws. Nobody really pushing hard. I mean, those on the red side, they pushed and tried. They started some in some states, some red states, they started doing things with mandatory DNA tests and all that other stuff. So you got to deal with the fact of the legal system. Even if you said women are the same everywhere, but the legal system is different everywhere, where men are not legally being punished for just being men. They're not losing their life savings and being completely crushed in the court system. So you got to look at the legal aspect of things as well. Like I said, there are no solutions, there are only trade-offs. Now, if you're going into red light districts in certain areas overseas, well, shit, you're going to get what you're going to get. If you're just going there to have a good time, it really doesn't even matter. You go into a red light district or not. That's on you. I ain't the wallet police or the D police. But if you're going into a community and you're trying to be a part of a community, I will agree with Paul Pierce. From what I've seen, you know what I mean? And I spent my last winter up in northern Thailand, Nakhon Phanom, Udon Thani area. And it's my conclusion, once you go into northern Thailand, away from Bangkok, away from Pattaya, I'm out there in the middle of Bin Kong Long, up in northern Thailand, northern Isan, villages, cows, whatever else. And if you out there away from the cities and out there in rural and whatever else, and you want to I would agree with Paul. But if you down there in Pattaya and all that other shit, Phuket and all that goofy shit, you're going to get, it's the same as Western women. But if you out there in the country where I be at, there's thousands of marriage quality women, if that's what you're looking for, but it's just a matter of perspective. If you're just going there, you living your life, you joining a gym, you're trying to network with people and whatever else, it is what it is. But in the West, you're dealing with the 5% woman. There are good women here in the West. The 5% women is what you're dealing with. And the legal system in certain places doesn't make it easy to just be taking advantage of dudes unless you're an absolute simp. You literally have to sign over your power to a woman in many of these places. They don't have no social safety nets in terms of the government, in terms of all these programs they have for women and whatever else. You'd have to literally simp your way into getting exploited in many of these places. Exactly. So in many environments, you literally have to simp your way into being exploited. So it is what it is. Let's continue on.
Well, don't try to say their values are so different than I shaking ass. No, they are. They're doing it. They are, and they're getting shitted on, shaking ass, and all type of stuff. Yeah.
The difference between that, though, is that the ones that's out here getting paid $25, $35 sucking the dick, they are literal prostitutes. Right? They're toots. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
The women over here, dog, they don't consider themselves toots, but you still got to pay them a bag and a half to wine and dine.
Well, it's also
to get the buns. It's no different.
All right, let's give an example, okay? Let's get this straight. If you go down to Walking Street in Pattaya or any of these red light districts or anywhere else, most of these girls that work these bars, first of all, in a place like Thailand, there is no government safety net. Like their social security net, it's like $1,000 what do old people get? Like $1,000 baht a month or some shit like that. If you don't have some way, so they look at family. Family is the number one priority. So the family, the older generation is dependent upon you. You better have some buffaloes or some real estate or some business to take care of you in old age in these countries, because there's no government safety net. So when you have these girls that come from poverty, their parents is only getting 800 baht or 1,000 baht, which is $30 a month, and you see them in these bars, and they're doing certain things to send money back home. You understand that many of these situations exist out of poverty and duress and survival. The Western woman, unless she is a complete derelict or bum or whatever else, she really has a bunch of opportunities ahead of her to not be out here selling box. There's jobs and opportunity. So you comparing a woman in a environment where there's not a lot of opportunities for women to a woman that's in America or in the West that has a plethora of opportunities and has no real reason to sell box. So if a woman in a third world country is selling box for survival versus a woman in a first world country is selling box because she's just a slore, two different types of human beings, even though they're equally into the prostitution game. You see what I'm saying? Two different mentalities, a mentality of survival versus a mentality of just purely being a 304 or taking the easiest pathway in life. So when I look at some third world chick trying to sell box in Angela City or Pattaya or somewhere else versus some woman in modern Western American culture with all these programs and benefits and government support and all these jobs and come from money and all this stuff, now you just want to be a 304. You're not selling box for survival. You're selling box because you're lazy or you're a 304. It's just really that simple. So I will actually, I don't really, you can't put the same 304s in the same box. You see what I'm saying? Even though I wouldn't suggest anybody, be in any serious relationship with any 304, retired 304. There's something that dies in a woman from that activity and that behavior, but they're still two different human beings. And some woman in some, trying to escape poverty versus some woman that's been born and blessed by being born here in America in the West, and she just don't want to put in the effort or the work to become the best version of herself. There's two different human beings. So let's stop comparing yourself to some foreign 304. You've been blessed to be born in America. You're not the same. So their actions is, whatever. I'm not excusing it, but I understand. Let's continue on.
It's just that these girls are in denial about their prostitution behavior.
Exactly.
The toots overseas, they know they toots, right? But we ain't talking about the toots. We talking about the women that been raised right by mama.
Man, I ain't trying nothing, but I'm just saying, like right now, if you ain't taking a girl shopping, if you ain't got no bread, if you like
it's funny hearing Paul Pierce talk about this shit too, man. Curious if he's talking from his own perspective or his bros. You know what I'm saying? Because a man of this stature shouldn't be having no issues with women, period, bro. It's like what you say goes. At the same time, y'all all are probably circulating the same type of women and shit too, bro. And that's your problem. Y'all be recycling the same hoes that's already accustomed to that lifestyle. They don't give two fucks about what you got to say.
Well, just because you're successful doesn't mean that you can't identify the struggles of all men. Just because you're successful and have money, or let's say you even have a harem of women, that doesn't mean you can't identify what other men are going through. And that's part of what the fundamental problem is, that men don't have empathy or compassion for other men. So Paul Pierce is correct about the current dating and relationship market. The current dating and relationship market is pretty much prostitution on steroids. prostitution on steroids, because that's all these women are. This is, to me, when I see situations like, okay, we remember you played that one clip, right? So this, to me, I'll give you an example right now. And we keep playing these clips all the time, but this is an example of prostitution right here. You see, this is prostitution, right? This is prostitution. What they don't talk about is how much prostitution is right here in America, right in our face. This is complete prostitution. Let's play it. Let me play it.
GMB film. So correct me if I'm wrong, but I personally feel like broke hate vacations. I feel like broke men cannot go on vacation for 4 days because they only worry about getting money or getting back to money. But I feel like a successful man, a man with some money put up, they want to enjoy the fruit of their labor. They want to go on vacations, to drink some margaritas, to be by the bar, to go experience life. That's just how I personally feel. Correct me if I'm wrong. Have you ever been on vacation with a who was broke and was he wanting to get back home? Or have you been on vacation with a rich who wanted to ball out and stay out there? They was like, we finna move out here. You had to extend the trip because nigga had so much money to spend.
It was like this, I just start laughing, man.
Okay.
Or have
So right there, okay? You talk about the foreign women. This is right here in America. It's prostitution at home. So she's trying to use reverse psychology on a simp, trying to get some simp to get in her DM to offer her, hey, look, I got some money. I'll take you on a vacation. I'll spend money on you. So this is prostitution. And you know, or these old women trying to get up on a simp. Like, it's crazy. Like, you get some of these old broads, they go to the church and, you know, they try to, you know, they have mismanaged their youth and shit. Like, Black Guru be getting on these women, man. It'd be funny as hell, right? Like, there's an example right here. This one right here. Salute to Black Guru. I can brother be putting out some good content. Now, this is what I call the Hail Mary. But it's nothing more than just prostitution and the rest of the shit, trying to grab a simp. This is a Hail Mary pass. This is one of them old women that have mismanaged. This is mismanaged youth right here.
This is where all of my money goes. Every time a bill comes, I just hate owning a home because who needs to pay $250 for electric?
Sad.
I don't give a Keisha.
I don't give up.
Single?
I sure am.
How old are you?
I'm older. I'm 50.
Why are you single? 50 years old.
I guess that's a good question, huh? I mean, I've had a lot of long-term relationships, like at least 3 of them, but I don't know. I think it's my choices.
You don't sound like you have very much personality.
I don't?
No.
You know why? Because you can't see my face right now. You know, that's probably why I need to.
All you got to do is brush your hair out and come on the screen. Why is it? You know how many women I've had do that? And then the ones that are like y'all are lazy.
Ooh, I'm lazy?
I actually have real men that watch my program and they reach out.
And I apologize.
Hold on a second, ma'am. I'm speaking. Men actually watch my program and they reach out to women and say, you know, Guru, I reached out to this one. Sometimes they tell me I met a good woman on your show. And then a lot of times the women message me and say, Guru, oh my God, you know, I had 10 or 15 men hit me up after I came on your show. So why can't you take this serious? You single.
I know.
You need a man.
You know what?
It's not like it's not like you got men that want to be with you so bad. You need a man.
I apologize. I do. You caught me by surprise. This is a
brush
really
your
good
hair
show.
out. Take the bonnet off.
I know. You know what I'm going to do? I am not going to waste your time. Okay. I am not.
Gotta go then. Single.
I sure am.
How old are you?
I'm older. I'm 50.
Why are you single? 50 years old.
Yeah. Oh man. Look at this one. They want to pay 50-50, right?
This is where all of my money goes.
Oh, poor
Every
baby.
time a bill comes, I just hate owning a home because who needs to pay $250 for electric?
I don't give a Keisha.
I don't give a
I don't care. Yeah. We don't care.
Let me tell you.
We don't care.
Yeah, unfortunately, ma'am, none of us care.
Oh man, y'all crazy.
You know, this new T app where women have been super excited about all this information that they're now able to get from other women on men in their local area that they may be dating, in a relationship with, or married to. I think it might be starting to backfire. You have got to listen to what this woman has to say about the T app.
It's this app called the T app. So the app is supposed to be, will help women with safe dating. You post a guy you're talking to.
You know, this new T app where women have been super excited about all this information that they're now able to get from other women on men in their local area that they may be dating, in a relationship with, or married to. I think it might be starting to backfire. You have got to listen to what this woman has to say about the T app.
I'm sorry.
You know, this new T app where women have
Sorry
been
about that, guys. I'm
super
trying to make-
excited about all this information that they're now able to get from other women on men in their local area that they may be dating, in a relationship with, or married to. I think it might be starting to backfire. You have got to listen to what this woman has to say about the T app.
It's this app called the T app. So the app is supposed to be, will help women with safe dating. You post a guy you're talking to or interested in, and the girl's supposed to give like red flag, green flag, and kind of like talk about their experience.
For all the men that are so butthurt in my comments about the T app, just say you're not a great person. The men who have red flags and have a lot of negative comments, and you're commenting on my shit saying, oh, women just be lying. For that girl to even comment something negative about you, you must have done something negative to her. Or she just hates you for no reason. I don't know. I just don't believe that. I feel like there has to be something behind it, unless you rejected her, and I don't know.
Oh, look, and this is what the T app actually looks like. This is the one out of New Orleans. Interesting.
Oh, dear, we're none. How the T app has gotten under your skin. Now, I'm not on the app, but I've seen enough on TikTok to know what's being said about guys on there. And if it wasn't true, why are you guys so upset? I have seen so many videos of guys subtly threatening to ruin women's reputations just because of what's being said about you on the app. If it wasn't true, you wouldn't be this mad.
When I first got on the T app, I was shocked. And I was like, I gotta tell the girls. I have to tell the girls about this app because this app is going to save somebody. It's going to save somebody from getting their heart broke. And a lot of times you can't always believe what everybody say, but you can get on that app and compare what you know to what they say, and you be the judge.
The T app has taken it to another level. Not only are they paying women to post fake testimonials on TikTok.
Why the T app just exposed that my whiskey? What should I say? Y'all.
Baby, the T app is tearing through the male community like crack in the A. And on the T app, there's like a process that you have to go through to get verified so that they know, that you're a girl or whatever. And also on the T app, you can't screenshot people. And it's so funny that the guys think that it's all like us yapping about bad experiences, but sometimes it'd be like, girl, you gotta try that. You need that. You need that.
Y'all are telling other women they need to go try out a man's thing, essentially, is what you're saying.
Media and stuff, talking about how they got posted on there. Very telling.
I went on there, and I mean, I get like 50 to 100 alerts a day about guys in Dearborn. Like, are you guys okay? I have friends that was posted, and the thing about it is it's supposed to be like a good app. At first, I'm like, okay, this is great. I was getting like mixed reviews, like on guys, like whatever the case may be. And then it started to take a turn for something else. I started seeing women post other women. Oh, this.
Okay, first of all, 50 to 100 alerts a day, that's insane.
She dated my husband and shit like that. Like, whoa. It's like, I don't know what's going on in Dearborn, but it's like as soon as you can say something anonymously, bitches are losing their Nice.
What she just said right there is key because women love to remain anonymous when it comes to spilling tea, which is really gossip. All they want to do is be able to get online and say what everyone want to say about whoever and have no consequences to that. And that's not reality because they know other women sometimes will check them on what they said and come after them and may fight them.
Like accusing guys of like sexual assault because like, and it's like if you are accusing a guy of rape and sexual assault and lying, or just like he say she say, or because their friend got caught doing shit, and so you're going to hell.
Did y'all just hear what she said? Shout out to this sister right here, Ebony Black. She's a deep thinker. She's not like the average of these jokers out here today. And the fact that she said the women that are doing stuff like this are going to hell because she knows the lies, the gossip, the evil stuff that women can sometimes do with their mouth has serious consequences. And shout out to Ebony for pointing this out and recognizing this.
If you're just like, you're not giving real facts, or because you know somebody that was assaulted by this person, or you are the person that was assaulted, and you're lying on guys saying they are whatever, like sexual assaulting women, like.
And what's the consequence regarding all that? You're lying on men saying they're doing all this stuff because it's just gossip, or you just want to put.
Let's just get this straight real quick, okay? And I want to show you something real quick, okay? This TAP bullshit, it don't mean nothing. They still gonna sleep with the same men. Let me give you an example how sick some of these women are, right? Remember this guy, right? Right here. Let me see I'm gonna tell you what I think about the TAP. Remember him? Remember Charlie Manson, right? Right here. Charlie Manson. Serial killer Charlie Manson. He got married in prison, right? Let me tell you why this TAP don't mean a damn thing. It turns on these women. The fact that a dude is toxic and it's like advertisement. Could you imagine how many women were in Charlie Manson's fan club? Look, this is he got married in prison. Look, see? Charlie Manson. Charlie Manson gets licensed to wed. America's most this was in 2014. I think he's moved on now. America's most notorious inmate until February to say I do to has until February to say I do to girlfriend Alton Ellen Burton. Now, is she crazy or nutty? Yes. This is what I think about the TAP. And I keep telling people, it's just advertisement. It's just advertisement that some women just like it toxic. And I always make this thing, back in the day when I used to work a certain profession, there would be like drug addicts. And they would, every once in a while in a certain area, there'd be a bad batch of heroin. And it'd be like 5-6 people drop dead, just overdose and die. And you would think that these drug addicts would avoid the area where that bad batch of heroin laced with fentanyl has taken out drug dealers. You know what happens? They come off the bus. They come off the trains. They get dropped off. All of them come to that area looking for the same dope that took out 6 people. And I'd be like, I used to scratch my head and be like, yo, the fact that 6 people died in this area attracted more customers. Well, that's what the TAP is like with these dudes. Like, everybody knows what Charlie Manson did. But this chick right here decided to become his wife. There's some women that are just attracted to a certain type of dude, right? And that's the TAP doesn't change that. I got another example of this shit. It's just like there's a certain type of woman Like they just like a certain type of dude. And it doesn't matter what we say or what we think, it changes nothing. Hold on one second. Here's what I'm talking about right here. They're just attracted to a certain type of dude. I'll give you an example. Salute to my brother Black Guru, man. He's putting out a lot of good content nowadays, man. Really exposing these women. So let's hear her out.
You a heavy set?
Oh no, Guru, what's this?
Somebody give this man a cookie. He want a cookie that he got another girl pregnant. 7 months pregnant while I'm 6 months pregnant. Just disgusting. Somebody give this man a fucking cookie. So that means you got her pregnant before me. Stop calling my phone. Stop reaching out to me. Now that I know you have another baby on the way, focus on that baby. This baby not yours. Okay, this is all me.
How do y'all keep getting tricked? Why do these men keep doing this to y'all? It's the same stories over and over and over again. Men, I heard you. Please stop doing this. You're hurting them. You're breaking them. They don't want to share. Oh no, Guru.
So it'd be the same broad that be on this shit. You'll see her. You'll see that same woman she'll be talking about she want a man to make $100,000 a year. This will be that chick right there. She'll be having this conversation, right? This is the same type of woman that be having this conversation on the Kendra G show. After she done had a baby with this dude. You see? This is the conversations that we're having today. And that's why I made this stream. Really. And all these guys talking about, men leveling up and this and this and this and this. And then they start shaming the brothers. The same woman that's having this conversation right there. I want to show this guy has seven children by 7 different women, right? And this is the type of woman that will be out here talking nonsense to black men right here.
What's this?
Somebody give this man a cookie. He want a cookie that he got another girl pregnant. 7 months pregnant while I'm 6 months pregnant. Just disgusting. Somebody give this man a fucking cookie. So that means you got her pregnant before me. Stop calling my phone. Stop reaching out to me. Now that I know you have another baby on the way, focus on that baby. This baby not yours. Okay, this is all me.
How do y'all keep getting tricked? Why?
So what happens is women like this, they will come up. Maybe she goes to a community college and then goes get a 4-year degree, and maybe she fixes her life in some certain way. But it's the same type of women that be saying black men ain't ish, black men not making enough money, black men ain't this, black men ain't that. And then they'll automatically try and go for this dude after they have allowed Day and Mook to run up in them and create babies with them. And then they come bashing the heads of black men on the internet, talking nonsense about, you ain't no good quality men out here and this and this. They have the loudest mouth. That's why this T-app is so good, because it gives a Carfax on their behavior. You literally need a Carfax on them. And it points out all of their poor decisions that they've made in the past. It's like you can't make this shit up. The women that you see on these panels and everywhere bashing men are the same women that had all these choices of men when they were younger, mismanaged their youth, slept with certain types of dudes. Now they trying to charge this dude a tax for being squared away or being a good dude or being a nice dude, and he getting them when they're 40 and 50 or getting them when they're 35, or they want him to get them after they've been rammed and destroyed emotionally and psychologically. So he gets to get the leftovers. What type of community can you have when you try to give the best men the leftovers? Shouldn't the best men get eat first? You reward the best men by giving them first access to your body and to you as a woman. The first and the only access to your body. That's how you reward the best men. You don't give the best men your body after you've allowed all these types of degenerates and bums to put babies in you and have sex with you. That is the most disrespectful crap on the planet. And that's why you have no community. You want a real community? Reward the best men with access to your body first. Reject the thugs and the hoodlums and the, whatever. Then you have a community. But no dudes is going to build anywhere in any community where you just let anybody run up in you. You can forget it. Your community is toast. It's not going to happen. Now you want to date the finance dude. You're 35, 40 years old, got another man's kid. Oh, well, I was young then. It doesn't change the fact this is the level you allow to access your body. And, it is what it is, man. And this is the greatest insult of them all. And that's why when you see women talking about their past and guys they've been with, my ex, it really leaves a bad taste in men's mouths. It's not insecurity, it's just nature. It's like, yo, that ain't nothing really special. You're talking about an epidemic of PNC right here. You're talking about when women talk about their sexual history and their sexual past, it's like, yo, I get it. You ever seen like a woman, she talk about our ex in front of you, or my ex this, or my boyfriend this, or this and this, or my ex-boyfriend, or oh yeah, years ago I slept with this guy or that guy. And it's like the value on that box is just disintegrating in a man's mind. He's just looking at it like, oh, this ain't worth nothing. That's what happens when when a woman talks about past experience in front of a man, or even mentions an ex. It's like his whole, like, men like to feel like they're getting something special. Men like to feel like they're getting something special. And conversations about your past is nothing. I mean, granted, we want to keep these women talking, so you can really decide whether or not they're worth having around or not. Because sometimes people don't change who they are. They may try and pretend to be somebody else to get some type of financial benefits or reward, but inevitably they always get back to that level again. But this is what happens. When I see women on panels openly, vulgarly talking about sex, sexual history, sexual past, things they do for money, how many dudes they've been with, how they played dudes or whatever else, and being overly sexual and everything, it is what it is. They have a good physical body, automatically they go into pump and dump category. But this is not where it's at. This is not where it's at. But anyhow, I'm gonna get out of here for the day. You guys, If you all like the content, appreciate Andrew Baker. Appreciate you supporting the channel, man. If you guys want to support the channel, you can go ahead and do that, or you can cash at me at A Peaceful Life. We're going to keep this conversation going. And the reason why is this, okay? I don't want to see a lot of young brothers get caught up inviting certain women into your life that are unqualified with these you know, checkered history. You know, salute to you, man. Okay, you too, man. You have a good weekend, Andrew. I don't want to see these young brothers, and I know Brother Andrew can tell you right now, we don't want to see these young men get with women with all of these histories and sexual, because in the culture, they tend to forgive women's indiscretions or women. Nobody's talking about whether or not these women are qualified to be anything other than what they have been. There's no it's like this assumption that all of these women are qualified for what they're asking for. And I don't want to see young brothers get into situations with women who have not done the right things in life and earned the right to be elevated to a certain level. And they get into these trash situations with these women and they end up with poor outcomes because we live in a gynocracy. It's a matriarchal culture, especially in the Black community. And they're not doing anything to protect their body or offer anything of value to these young men. And then you have the men in these spaces and the men talking about, oh, well, how much men are not performing up to whatever standards that these women are asking for, when the women themselves are unqualified for relationships. You see what I'm saying? So the question is never asked, are these women even qualified? Are they even qualified to be making any demands of men? What is your qualification for demanding that a man be anything? Is there anything virtuous about you? Anything special about? Do you qualify for the man you want? Because it's easy to ask men what they're qualifying for, but does these women qualify? And my argument is many of them are not even raised to be wives or even qualify for what they're asking for. And with that being said, I'm going to get out of here, guys. You have a good weekend. But I had to put that point in there. And so I wish the best for my brothers and the few good sisters. I'm with you, my brother. And like I said, nobody takes care of you like you, man. You got to do what's best for yourself. Don't let nobody shame you as a man into accepting mediocrity from these women. The majority of them, except for the 5% women out here, the majority of them are unqualified to be wives or long-term girlfriends. They've enjoyed too much sexual liberation. They've had too many trauma, and many of them are just mentally insane. Many of them are mentally insane. But that being said, I'm out of here because I'll continue on.